Hey, everybody. Welcome to the very, very, very first episode of Jaybird and the Squatch. I am Jason Jaybird Collings, here with my co-host, Raul Reyes, comedian, affectionately known by me as Sasquatch. Why? Obviously. He's a Sasquatch. Look at him. Hello, Raul. How are you? This is your first time doing a podcast.
It is my first time doing a podcast.
Me and Raul, we're buddies in the comedy scene. I think he's hilarious. Not on stage. I think he's just a hilarious guy. So I'm like, yeah, we got to do a podcast together, and here we are doing this podcast. How you feeling about it, dude?
It's cool, but see, I'm still wondering, what do you think is funny about me?
All of it.
Not on stage?
All of it.
No, really. What is it?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, cool.
All of it. Okay, like when you what gave me the idea to do this podcast with Raul is that we were hanging out, we were having a Starbucks. He starts asking me if I remember a certain movie, and just the way that you described the movie when you were trying to, basically it was the worst pitch meeting you would ever be in, or it was like the worst synopsis of a movie you ever, but it was so entertaining. Halfway through your explanation, I knew what movie you were talking about. I don't know if you knew that.
I know, but then you didn't even tell me.
Because I wanted you to keep going, because it was hilarious. He said, hey, do you remember that movie with that guy? By the way, no context clues. Do you remember that movie about that guy? He was a badass and he died and then he went to heaven. Then he had to come back and help this other little kid become a badass. I guarantee you nobody out there knows what movie I'm talking about right now.
So then do I sound like an East LA Cholo all the time?
You are an East LA Cholo. Where were you born?
I was born in East LA.
Born in East LA.
But I'm not a Cholo. Does a Cholo wear a surfer
shirt? No, definitely not. You're not. First of all, not a surfer shirt. It's got surfers on it, but it's definitely not a surfer shirt. You're dressed like a mannequin from Men's Warehouse.
I don't think so, man. It's cool. You know, I like the way I'm dressed, man. A lot of people always talk shit about it, but I'm actually happy. You know,
that's what I like about you too. You got this crazy. There's so much about you, and we'll get into it in all the episodes, because you're gonna learn. There's so much about him. He's my Carl Pilkington.
A lot of people probably don't know who that is, so you're gonna have to explain.
No, a lot of people do know who that is. Okay, Ricky Gervais show. Ricky Gervais had like one of the OG podcasts.
Yes.
Him and Stephen Merchant, they created The Office, the original Office. And they had this guy on the podcast with him named Carl Pilkington. If we could, you know who Carl Pilkington is, right? You guys know who he is? And
no.
You do not?
I do not.
You don't know who Carl Pilkington is?
No, I don't know who he is.
Okay, there's a I'm talking about the producer right here. Carl Pilkington, if you've ever watched An Idiot Abroad, there was the show called An Idiot Abroad, and it was that British guy who went all over the world. And because what made it funny was his outlook on everything. It wasn't like he was telling jokes or anything like that. It was just everything annoyed him. And then when he would explain things, it would make Ricky laugh so much. That's who you are to me.
You know what annoys me right now?
What?
The fact that you think cargo pants are back in style.
They are back in style.
No. That really annoys me, because they're not.
They're 100.
They were never in style to begin with.
Okay, if
they're in style for a retired grandfather.
Listen, if they weren't in style, they would not have been on all the racks at the store that I went and got them.
Yes, because they didn't sell, so they're on all the racks.
No. Good point, but they bring all the seasonal stuff out.
Do you know who used to sell cargo pants?
Sell them?
Used to, a long time ago.
You at the indoor swap meet.
Miller's Outpost. Do you remember Miller's Outpost?
Heck yeah, I remember Miller's Outpost.
Okay, and what happened to them? They went out of business. So there you go. They went out of business because they sold cargo pants.
So what's in style? What do you consider style?
Style? Nowadays, it's hard, because style, it's kind of weird nowadays. They actually...
Nope.
I see people wearing shoelaces as belts, and that's the new style.
That's the young kid stuff. They wear oversized shit, but no.
Yeah.
These are back in style. But the difference is...
Who told you they're back in style?
The world.
The world does not say cargo pants are back in style.
Okay, look. They are back. My brother... Okay. But the difference is these aren't the big, baggy, wide leg cargo pants of the 90s. They're fitted. They're tapered at the end. They're fitted, and they're cool, and I like them with the J's. So, and you can't say anything about style when you got little miniature people surfing on your shirt. A shirt.
I'm just saying, because you wore cargo pants yesterday.
Yep.
And I didn't say nothing because you took me around to meet some pretty cool people. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to bite the hand that feeds me. But today, since we're, in this show, I want to tell you, I really don't like the cargo pants.
That's fine. You don't have to wear them. Just like I don't have to wear that awful shirt.
What makes this awful shirt?
Okay, let's see. This is how long we're going to do? An hour? Okay, here we go. Button up is cool, but it's a little fitted. I don't know if it's fitted or if it's just your growth, but the miniature surfers on it, man.
We are in Long Beach, right?
There's no surfing in Long Beach.
But we are in Long Beach, right? It's a
100%.
beach, right?
But there's no surfing.
I know, but there's a beach, right?
Do you understand there's no surfing?
Yeah, but there's a beach.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with little miniature surfers on your shirt?
I'm in Long Beach. It's a beach. I'm wearing a beach shirt.
Nope. Look. So here's one of the things that me and Raul were talking about that made me go, we need to do a podcast. I asked him about his upbringing. I asked him about his parents and if his parents still alive or not, and his dad's still alive. And I make fun of the way he talks all the time because I'm a little racist. But just kidding, I'm not. I am. But I make fun of the way you talk a lot because some of the words sometimes your mouth works quicker than your brain. I don't know if I'm not trying to insult you.
Oh no, you're not insulting.
Okay, because
I've heard that my whole life.
Okay, yeah, like your mouth will start saying things before your brain's ready to. So I asked you about that. What's up with that, man? I asked you if English was your second language, and it's not.
No, but you keep on asking me.
Is English your second language?
It's not my second language.
Right, that's my point. So I asked, what's going on then? Because sometimes you don't have a grasp on the English language. Then you told me that your father was illiterate.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Okay.
Listen to this, Solomon. His father can't read.
My father,
however,
cannot read or write, but can read his whole Bible.
Wow.
Like his whole Bible.
That's selective.
That's not illiterate.
No, I'm telling you, it's just weird that he could read his whole Bible.
So he could read
if you ask
the
him
Bible.
to read you, I've taken him to a McDonald's. I told him, Dad, what do you want? He says he can't read the menu.
Is his Bible in Spanish?
Yes. But it doesn't matter anything in Spanish. He still can't read. My dad stopped school when he was in the 3rd grade because his father got killed. So my dad didn't go to school no more because he had to take care of his mom. So that's what I'm saying. My dad has not had any type of education, but yet he could read his Bible.
Trying to find the right button to push for that story. There's not a good one here.
Are you calling bull?
What the fuck?
Your dad quit school because what?
Because my grandma was left alone because my grandpa was shot and killed. So then my dad was the oldest one, so my dad had to work to be able to take care of his siblings and his mom.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, and that was in what grade?
He was like in the 3rd or 4th grade. I'm not
sure. So he wasn't at cursive yet.
No, he wasn't. No, but come on. He lived in a ranch in Mexico, man. They didn't really, the education was not as best. It was probably like the education
So again,
that I went through.
Can't read. Can he write?
No.
But he could pick up the Bible
and read it.
Okay, why do you think that is?
I just like I'm kind of a religious person, but I'm kind of not because I don't go to church. So I'm not gonna call myself. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and actually go to and say I go to church. I believe in God, but I just believe that God gives him the ability to be able to read his Bible because
Okay.
I know you don't believe that, but I'm just saying, like,
I totally believe it.
Then why are you putting no on the
What are
thing?
you talking about?
You don't believe it.
I do believe it.
No, because I tell you all these things and you never believe them. You think I'm lying. Like I told you.
I don't. No. See, that's the beautiful part. I don't think you're lying.
But I told you.
That is what makes this amazing.
But I told you that my dad's conducted 2 exorcisms. And 2 exorcisms.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like
your dad exorcised demons out of a person.
Yes, out of my sister.
Nope.
It's 100% true.
No. Can I ask you what time of the month it was for your sister?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
You promise?
I 100%.
You ever notice the only people that get possessed are Catholics?
Are Mexicans.
Mexican Catholics. No, not just Mexicans. I think it's interesting that people blame a bad day or like if you're in a bad mood, there are people out there that say you got to get the demon out of you. There's a demon in you.
Oh yeah, but this is totally different, dude. Like I'm telling you, my cousin who lived with us at the time, he doesn't want to go back to the house because he's seen things like that. He's seen like creepy things like that.
What did he seen?
He's seen
He's seen us like that. What did he see that he didn't want to go back to? I want to know.
He actually saw.
He saw your father performing an exorcism on your sister.
And he saw my
because
sister.
she was on her period and she
No,
was in a
she
bad
was
mood.
not on her period.
She was being
No,
a
she
bitch.
was not- she was
so
not on
they
her
blamed
period.
it on a demon.
She was not on her period.
So he brought the Bible out that he could read
she
for
was
some
not
reason
on her-
because he can't read anything else.
She was not on her period. She was actually possessed
By what?
by a demon.
What demon? Does the demon have a name?
No, I don't know.
The demon of what?
Damien the demon? I don't know. what's his
Damien
name.
the demon. No, here it is. Trust me.
Look,
There are times-
Hold on, wait a minute. Just
Okay.
because you haven't experienced those things doesn't mean that other people haven't.
I mean, they think they have.
No, they have.
Sure.
Oh my
Sure,
god, it's
sure.
100%, dude. I'm telling you,
Didn't happen.
it happened.
I believe something happened.
Okay,
I believe something happened in all of your brains, in your minds.
No, it happened at the house.
This is the bullshit police coming to pick you up.
100% true, dude. Why would I lie about something like that?
I don't think you're lying. That's the beautiful part of this whole thing.
Okay, but you don't think I'm lying, but yet you don't believe me.
I think that I believe you. I believe that you believe that happened.
I've seen it.
I know. You believe what you saw was an exorcism.
It was an exorcism.
Okay, how did that go? Take me through that. So what was going on? First of all, what was going on with your sister that they thought they needed to exercise?
First of all, my dad has some thick ass hands, right? Like his hands are like huge, right?
Okay.
My dad had to slap her because she wasn't like listening to him, and she grabbed the knife and was threatening people with it. So he had to slap her and then she wanted to stab her, so he slapped her, and then he saw that her eyes there was something going on. I'm telling you, he believes in that because it's not even the part of being the whole devoted Catholic thing. It's the part that like stuff like that happens, dude.
Sorry.
Okay.
So your sister was in a bad mood.
It wasn't
She
a bad
walks in
mood.
the house with a knife.
It wasn't a bad mood. It wasn't a bad mood. It was not a bad mood. I'm telling you, it happened. I'm telling you, it happened, dude. I'm just telling you. Like I told you these stories because you're like, I tell you,
What you was just explained to me was a girl that was not having a good day.
no,
She was in a horrible
No, sir.
mood. She wanted to. She
sir.
picked up a knife.
No,
She
sir.
wanted to hurt other people. She wanted to hurt herself.
No, sir. It was.
Do you know what else you could do other than an exorcism?
It was no.
Zoloft.
No, sir. It was totally different. It was totally different than what you think.
Weed.
100%. Okay. Have you ever experienced something?
Yep.
What?
My son, my youngest, when he moved out,
Yeah.
it was a result of a huge fight between him and his
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
And I guarantee, if we were a Catholic household, she'd have called an exorcist. But all it was is, guess what he was? Didn't have a demon in him. He was being a fucking asshole.
No, man. No, man. Have you ever experienced something supernatural?
Yes.
What?
Okay.
That you remember?
Then I remember.
That's supernatural. That you can't explain. Like you're like,
Yes.
what?
Well, I can't remember.
What the hell? Then why'd you say you?
Here's the thing. There's a reasonable explanation for a lot of things. The exorcism thing that's just on another level. Like I believe in that there are supernatural things. Like I feel like I've witnessed spirits and ghosts and stuff
Like those
that.
movies that
No, not
that
talking
come
about
out.
a movie.
Okay,
Okay, let's go there. What movie?
Amityville.
What is it?
At
Amityville. If you haven't
Amityville.
heard of it, look it up. It's called Amityville.
You know what I'm talking about? Then.
Mm-mm. I need you to explain it. Explain it, Squatch.
Oh man.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Okay. I'm trying to remember how it goes, man.
Mm-hmm. He's got
Okay.
it. Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Oh, okay.
Got it. What's the name of the movie, by the way?
I can't say it, man, but you know what I mean.
Amityville.
Amityville.
Amityville Horror.
Amityville horror. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So, what?
Amityville.
Amityville. Amityville. Oh, okay, cool.
Welcome back to the illiterate podcast.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to remember because I want to explain it the best I can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what I do remember from that movie is some guy got possessed, and then he killed his family in a house. Right?
Wait,
something like that, right?
Time out. I do agree with he killed his family in his house.
Yes. All right.
The possessed part is what I have a problem with.
See, just because you don't believe in people getting possessed doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Here's the thing. There's a reasonable explanation for it.
What is a reasonable explanation?
I don't know what it is, but there probably is one.
There probably is, but
Because there are plenty of mentally ill people
but the
locked
probably
up right
doesn't
now
make it
for killing
certain.
people. Do you think they are all possessed
but
by
the
demons?
probably doesn't make it certain.
Was Charles Manson
I
possessed?
think he was.
You know why?
Why?
You're Catholic.
That has nothing to do with being Catholic.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, like, that movie is real life. You know that, right?
The movie was real life.
That one is real life.
You mean it was based on a story? It was
based on a real life story?
Let me help you with that. Loosely based
Loosely based.
on true events. That man did kill there was a murder in that house.
Yeah.
But if you go back and actually research all that stuff, there's mafia ties, there's drug dealer ties, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into it.
So I believed in nothing then. It's not true.
No. I don't think it's not true. I just think it's. Don't look at me like that.
I'm just asking you. I believe what?
I think it's great that you have those beliefs.
But what I'm asking you, okay, if you don't believe that, then I have something even more crazy.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right.
Is this about your dad speaking in tongues?
He speaks in tongues.
Shocker. Hey, my dad speaks in tongues. Go ahead.
No, okay. When we used to live in
I'm
Compton.
having fun with this thing, huh?
I used to live in Compton, California, right?
Mhm. That's where all the demons are.
That's
Go
where all
ahead.
the demons are. Yeah. Gangsters, Crips, and Bloods,
Yep.
right?
Gang banging
Gangster
demons.
Yeah, gang banging demons. Anyways,
They banging in.
in my house, in the restroom, there's a small window. And there was a light. When my sister was taking a shower, there was a light that went straight through. And we're like, what the hell is that light? So she moved the curtain and there was 3 crosses on that window. Three crosses.
Okay, when you say on the window, what do you mean?
On the window.
Like actual physical crosses that you could pull off and hold in your hand?
No. They were
Interesting.
it was a light, but there were but 3 crosses stayed on the window.
Wait, what was a light?
Okay, it was like a light that shined through.
Mm-hmm. What was the light though? Was it an electric light bulb? Was it the sun?
The sun.
Oh, okay.
And there was 3 crosses on that window. And you know what's even
What do you mean on it? I don't know what you mean by on the window.
in the window?
Like somebody did it with their finger?
Yeah, but it wasn't somebody's finger.
What was it then?
We don't know. It's something supernatural.
Is this the same sister that they thought was possessed by a demon?
No,
Man, your family's amazing.
it's
dude.
crazy, right?
It is crazy, but not in the way you think.
I'm just telling you, it happened because there's actually the news when people were lining up to actually see the crosses.
The news went?
Yes.
It must have been a slow news day.
No, it was pretty miraculous thing. And
so
the thing
if I look this up, because you can look up archives of it. What news? What channel?
Channel 34, Spanish news, of course.
Wait a minute. Rewind. What channel?
Channel 34.
34. The what channel? The Latino.
Yes.
You think there may be a bunch of Catholics that run that channel? What do you think? Come on.
No, dude, it happened.
Okay.
I lived there. How you gonna tell me it didn't happen?
I'm not saying there wasn't something that happened, but it probably wasn't what you thought.
It was 3 crosses, bro.
Were they upside down?
No, because even when they broke the window, because the guy that moved in didn't want that window there no more, he broke it.
Why didn't he want it there? I know why. He was Catholic. But go ahead.
I don't know. He broke the window, right? And my dad was like, "Can I keep the window?" And we kept it in like a glass case.
Do
And
you still have it?
no, it's gone.
Why
And-
is it gone?
Because it broke.
On its own?
Yeah.
Holy shit. You know what? I'm a believer. You got me. You've got me, dude.
I want you to.
Here's the kind of guy. Here's what I think. I feel like you're the kind of guy that, like, if you threw that glass thing in a moving truck and you guys were driving too fucking rough, and during the drive it broke, obviously, but then you're gonna go like, "Oh my God, it broke! It's a sign. It's a sign that you didn't take care of it."
It's all these things have happened to my family,
Okay.
and I know you don't believe it, but it's true.
Okay. I don't think you're understanding that it's not that this is great. It's not that I don't believe it. It's hard to put in words. I believe that there are things that happen that you interpreted as that.
But it was that.
Because you interpreted it that way.
Okay, I'm gonna find that archive for you.
From Channel 34.
It doesn't matter. It's an archive, right?
Yeah. Did they have pictures of it?
Yes.
Okay, can't wait.
I'll find it.
Dude, if it's a steamed piece of glass,
you owe
listen
me an
to me.
apology.
If it's a steamed piece
true.
of glass because your sister was taking a hot shower because she was trying to exorcise the demon, and it was like, you know how they get steam on the window and droplets start going down? Sometimes they split off.
Sir.
I'm telling you.
No,
I
sir.
guarantee that's what I'm going to see.
was not like that.
Look it up.
It was not like
Next episode, I want to see this thing.
that. I got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
I will look for it.
Mm-hmm.
It might take me a little bit of time, but I'll look for
Okay.
it.
All right. So now you're getting to know why I've been wanting to do this podcast, because you, sir, are amazing.
No, you're amazing.
You are fucking amazing. Did you have a good time last night? Me and Raul went to the Laugh Factory and the Comedy Store last night to hang out with some buddies. I had to pick up some checks because
Jason be doing it.
I wish I had a
Applause.
not an applause, but it's like something for money. Well, don't have it. First episode, but I'm going to learn this shit. Have this.
We talk about you and money.
Have this.
You put that. You just talk about you and money and put that again.
Me and money with the laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you understand, local shows, they pay
Nothing.
nothing. I make $25 a set.
Yes.
But, we make our money on the road. But we had a good time. I introduced you to some of my very cool friends. You met
Joe Coy.
Joe Coy. I love that you said it right.
Yes.
'Cause
I've been practicing, actually.
You know what he usually says? Joy Coy.
I've been practicing, actually.
I've been.
I want to make sure I said it right.
You met Joe. You already knew Russ.
Yeah, no.
Russell Peters
Oh,
was there.
Russ. Great,
Bill Bellamy
great
was
guy.
there. Bentley was there, the guy that created the Jamie Foxx show.
Yes.
It was a good night. We had a good night.
We had a great night.
Brent was there.
Yes.
But whenever I walk around, I'm wondering if people are gonna start thinking I have a bodyguard,
That's true.
because you're really right up my shoulder everywhere,
Yes.
and I'm gonna start telling people that you're my bodyguard, even though you've never been.
Don't say that.
He's never been in a fight. This guy's never been in a fight
He's really gonna say that.
except with demons. He's had plenty of fights with demons, but real life worldly fights you've never.
Yeah, I've never had to get in a fight.
You never had to. You're 6'5". What are you, 6 what?
6'2".
No way, dude.
I'm 6'2".
There's no way you're 6'2".
6'2".
I'm 6'2".
You're not 6'2".
Yes, I am.
You are not 6'2".
I'm 6'2".
You are not 6'2". There's no way.
6'1".
6'1". No way.
6 foot?
You're 6 foot.
6.5.
No, you're 6 foot.
There's no.
Bro,
we're
I
gonna-
guarantee you.
No, you're 6'3".
No, I'm 6'2".
You're a Sasquatch.
Yeah, but I'm just
You're
a big guy.
a Bigfoot. Okay? You're a Gigantopithecus.
Anyways.
There's no way that you're only 6'2".
Okay, so can we talk about last night then?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
What are your
last night was great, and like I
Takeaways.
said, I appreciate Jason taking me and me being his bodyguard. But it was great because it's like when you experience stuff like that, it's stuff that you're gonna remember forever, dude. You're always gonna remember stuff like that, like because it's people that you've seen on TV, it's people that you admire, it's people that like. It was great, man. I enjoyed it. You know, we went to a Laugh Factory, then we walked to the Comedy Store, and then we saw King Batch. So we saw King Batch,
on the walk between the clubs, we passed Batch. That was an
we saw
interesting
Batch.
moment. That was an interesting moment.
Yeah, and it was just great times, man. And like I said, none of this would be possible without my co-host, Jason Collins, man. Thanks, Jace. Appreciate it.
Dude, you got it, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
And it was just it was fun, learn, because in this industry, you learn all the time because if you don't learn, then you're not doing it right. So you have to keep on.
Did you hear that, everyone? Words of wisdoms from the Squatch. If you don't learn, you're not doing it right. T-shirt.
I'm just saying, it's serious. You just have to learn how to make sure.
Here's the thing. You gotta learn how to learn. Okay? And if you're not learning how to learn, bro, you're not learning. Right?
I wanted to ask you, Jason, because I
Sure.
thought about this, and I want to ask you: is there a time that you remember when you started doing comedy?
Of course I remember the time that I started doing comedy.
Hold on, that you had a show that you were like, okay, I'm ready to. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
First show.
First show.
Very first one.
You already knew this is what
I knew this is what I wanted to do before I even did the first show.
Yes. So then you had no reservation, like, let me try it.
You understand. In my house growing up, the big events were the new HBO specials that were coming. Because nowadays they're giving out specials like fucking candy.
Yeah.
But when in my house, like if you remember the very first HBO comedy special was Robert Klein. I'm not sure you know who Robert Klein is.
I don't know who
Robert Klein.
I can't tell you.
Very funny, old school comic.
Mm-hmm.
He was just hilarious. And he was the very first HBO comedy special.
Mm.
And it was the first time that you saw that, like, that's what this thing is. Do you know what I mean? Like before, like with Bill Cosby himself, for example,
yes.
that was a live, because comics do that.
Yes.
They do live shows.
Mm-hmm.
This one was taped, and you could watch it on TV.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was an HBO one, but I'm pretty sure the very first HBO comedy special was Robert Klein, and we all watched it as a family, and we loved. My father was hilarious. My dad was hilarious. And that was like the event in my house. Like when the new Carlin was doing a special almost every year. George Carlin.
I just saw his documentary. It was
Really good, very good. But he was doing a comedy special almost every year.
Yeah.
And all of them were wonderful. And we would literally surround the TV to watch that as if we were watching the big boxing match or the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? That was like a thing in our household.
Yeah.
And then you had Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedian specials, where the first time we ever saw Sam Kinison, the first time we ever saw Jim Carrey.
Wow.
It was on these. So, and that's when I was very young, preteen.
Yeah.
I was like very young. And then as even younger than that, my brother and I got a hold of my parents, what they call party records back in the day.
Okay.
And what it was is they didn't have the comedy specials on television. You bought their album. You bought an album of their special. And my parents had Red Fox. They had Bill Cosby. They had, I believe they had a Bob Newhart record. And I remember my brother and I listening to those. As probably listening to Red Fox a little too young because he was dirty as fuck. But so that was always a thing. So even before I actually got on a microphone to do stand-up, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And you understand, before I did my first show, I ran around with guys like Joe Coy and Russell Peters for a couple years before I even did stand-up, just watching these guys do the thing that I want to do so badly. So by the time I got the balls to go up and do stand-up, I already knew this is where I was supposed to be. And my first time doing stand-up, as you know, I did like 15-minute set. And
at the Ha, right?
At the Ha on a real show. Not on an open mic. I didn't do an open mic. I BS.
Didn't you lie to get on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Huh?
Yeah, I told the owner of the club that I had been doing stand-up for 5 years, and that Joe Coy told me to come down there and that he would put me up. So he did. And the next day I was on the Friday night show, 8 o'clock show, third spot, 15-minute set. And I was already, I wasn't ready, like I'm like ready to be like the man. But I knew then I was ready because they booked me the next night. Yeah. And I'd been doing it ever since. So I honestly, the before I did stand-up, I knew. I just knew. I mean, my brother could tell you in high school, in junior high school, I killed insecurities with comedy. I killed fear with comedy. Like I was always cracking jokes and trying to be the class clown, I guess, trying to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if you try to be that, but yeah, I always wanted to be funny.
That's dope, man.
Even teaching martial arts, I taught with humor. So, and now that was 16 years ago, the first time I did stand up. And now, for you viewers of this first episode, next in November, I'm shooting my 1 hour special in Nashville.
in Nashville, right?
Shoot my 1 hour special in Nashville, yeah.
Wow, man.
Great production company. Scene Entertainment and Black Walls Entertainment are doing it.
That is so
Emmy
awesome.
award-winning production companies.
That is so awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's just everything coming together.
Yeah, it's time, dude. It's time. Like I was talking to Joe Coy about it last night. He's like, bro, you're ready. It's time. This is when it's supposed to happen.
You're ready to blossom, man.
Yeah, that was beautiful, dude.
Yeah, you're ready to blossom.
So, Brent Morin, who's my co-host on my other
Yes, I
podcast,
saw
The
him.
Lion's Den, where did you see him?
I saw him at the Comedy Store. One of my first comedy shows.
Really?
That I went to go see. I told you this.
That's who made you want to do stand-up?
Yeah.
But what got you to the comedy club? What were you doing there?
I just love comedy shows. Like I've always liked comedy. Those are my favorite type of shows. Anytime like I would watch, because I'm not a big fan of like George Lopez and stuff like that. That's like I'm not a fan of comedy that's just based central. That is just okay. This is a lot. I like people that are funny. Period.
Right, whether it's Latino,
like
white.
Latino, whatever. If you're a funny comedian, like I kind of like smart comedy, like people that actually
blows me away.
that actually try to actually make you laugh. That don't just say like stuff like that, like intelligent comedy. So yes, one of the first ones I saw was Brent Morin. I saw him, and I was like, and then I always noticed that comedians had dope shoes.
Our shoe game is
and I really liked that, and I was like,
shoe game.
And I remember
on point.
And I remember because I was sitting in the front seat, and they were talking about me, of course, because I'm a big guy, and they're all talking about me. And I saw these are the first comedians I saw, because there was a show at the Comedy Store at the original room. It was Brent Morin, Whitney Cummings, and then there was those are the only two I remember, because I have problems remembering sometimes.
We'll talk about that.
But Brent Morin was the one I remember, because I was like, man, this is dope. Because the reason I like it is because you're controlling something. You're controlling the audience. It's basically you controlling the audience, and people are
commanding a room.
Yes, you're commanding a room. To have so much control, it's pretty cool, dude. So that's why I liked it. And the first time I tried it, I was on this radio, this little internet radio show in Orange County, and I was there with my good friend Brian McDaniel.
Okay.
And then he invited me to a comedy show. He's like, "Hey, man, do you want to come to this comedy show?" Because he was promoting his comedy show on our internet radio show. And then when he was promoting the show, I was like, "Yeah, I'll go, man. I love it." And then after the show, I talked to him. I was like, "Dude, I really want to do this." And then he booked me at Flappers at a friends and family show. And I did it, and I did it, and I was wearing like a tie. I was all dressed up. I was like, "Oh man," like if I was going for a job interview. But it was great, man.
Wait. Your first time doing stand-up, you wore a tie?
A tie.
That's adorable.
Yeah. But the thing is, I didn't know better.
Obviously.
But the thing that I have that I might not have like the best stuff all, but what I have is I'm a people person when it comes to being able to talk to people. Like, I'm not afraid to go ask you a question. I'm not afraid to talk to somebody and find out information that I want to know. So then
I know.
So then I met Jack Jr.
If you guys don't know who Jack Jr. is the son of the owners of the Ha Ha Comedy Club.
Shout out to Ha Ha Comedy
North
Club, man.
Hollywood. Oh, of course.
Shout out to Ha Ha Comedy Club. That's my home club. I love that club. I love Jack. I love Terry. I love Jack Sr. All of them. Shout out to them, because they actually gave me a chance. I had to work there, but they gave me a chance, and I appreciate it.
Can I tell you what impresses me about you doing stand-up?
What?
And I'm not making a joke right now. You told me that when you were younger, you had a stutter.
Yes.
You spoke with a stutter.
Yes.
Sometimes I see it still comes out. So
When I say my name for some reason.
say your name.
Raul. Yeah.
I'm not laughing.
It's weird.
Raul.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're trying to seduce me. But
I might.
to be like, I was the kid who had a stutter. You definitely were bullied for it.
Oh, yeah. Big
Right?
time.
Because kids are awful.
And I always had gray hair too, so they would make fun of me.
Yeah, he started going gray at like 12 years old.
Yeah, 12 years old.
To make the decision to go, you know what I want to do? A thing where I have to talk.
Yeah.
That's brave as shit. And let me ask you this. Once you're on, because I notice when you do perform, you don't stutter.
No.
So is it like an adrenaline thing? What do you think it is? It's like you just get caught in a zone?
zone. I just black out because people are like, "Did you notice I was in the audience?" I'm like, "No, I don't notice anybody in the audience."
Right.
I just sit there and what I do is I concentrate on hearing the laughter.
Right.
I don't worry about who's looking. I don't worry about no. I don't worry about nothing. I concentrate on like, are people laughing?
Right.
And if people don't laugh, that's when I lose it. I'm like,
Right. That's what I try to tell you.
you never had that. You never had
But
that.
I'm trying to help tell you when it gets quiet, don't worry.
Yeah.
Because that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because when they're quiet, they're listening.
Yes. But the whole thing about stuttering is that I'll go back a little bit longer. I stuttered. Yes, I stuttered growing up. I stuttered really bad. I stuttered so bad that I went to speech class and everything.
Short bus.
Yeah. It wasn't a short bus. What it was is that they would walk us around the whole school, parading us like it was a short bus.
Were you like holding onto a rope, all of you?
No, we were all holding on to each other.
There's something really sweet about that.
It is very sweet. But the thing is that
I could just picture this line of children and then this one tall guy in the middle.
that's true.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Yeah, like that. And I was always shy, but what really helped me out, dude, is actually going to the military.
Yeah, but that
Because when because when I came back from the military,
you were in the Army, right?
no, the Air Force.
Oh, you were in Air Force.
Yeah.
Oh, you were a
really
flyboy.
I really didn't give a shit. Like people would bag on me all the time, and I still remember that the first time I came back, they were still trying to bag on me, and I capped on all of them. I was like, you know what?
You got back from
the military,
sorry, right?
Because I had all the confidence in the world, so I was like, you know what,
Dude, you were in where were you? You were stationed. Where were you?
I was stationed in North Dakota and Iraq. So when I got the military, I got this uber confidence in me, and I was like, you know what? They just started capping on me again, like they always used to. And I used to always get mad before, but this time I was like, you know what?
Why do I feel like people always pick on the nice big person? It's because they're so insecure with themselves. They're like, you know what's going to make me feel big is if I pick on the big dude, but you're so nice.
Yeah.
But you know you could crush somebody.
I could. I wanted to, but I don't have that.
Like I'm always taking my life in my hands when I mess with you. When I fuck with you.
But no, never do. I'm really happy that I got to do this with a great guy and Jason, of course. Go ahead and give yourself applause again.
Hold on, I gotta find it.
Dave, make sure you cut out all the applauses for Jason. I just saying like when I did all that and I came back and I was like, I was in a time in my life when I started doing comedy that I wanted to kill myself, actually.
You know, most comics get into comedy because of some dark shit.
I want to kill myself, and I wanted something to be able and I was like, I started doing comedy, man, and I'm like, I felt much better about my life, man, but I was like really wanting to kill myself. I really wanted to like fucking end my life.
People don't understand that shit is real.
I really wanted to end my life, and I was this close. I was depressed. I wasn't going to work, and then I started doing the comedy thing, man, and ever since then, I'm like, I love it. That's dope. I love it. It's great. It's fun. It's nerve-wracking because like, people are paying money to see you, dude.
It's challenging. Like you're like, I gotta deliver this.
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I'm saying. Because if you suck, like that's not cool, man. Because people are paying their hard-earned money to go see you.
Yep. And if you keep working, dude, you're gonna get to a point where you don't suck anymore. Actually, you opened for me. I headlined the Grand Comedy Club in San Diego last week. Escondido, and you opened for me, and you had great sets.
Thank you.
Killed it.
I appreciate it, man.
The second set was even better because I could tell. Because when you go into a room that you've never performed in, it's a new stage. You're not sure where the light is. Yeah. When I say the light, they flash a light at the back of the room to let you know when your set's over. Sometimes if you don't see that, and then you don't want to upset the club by going over your time. And there's all kinds of bullshit you're thinking about.
Yes.
That's what's dope about having multiple shows a night. Because on this, you don't have to keep saying yes. I promise.
See.
Okay. So getting into the room and getting acclimated to the room is all happening during your first set. So which was good. Your first set was good.
Yes.
But your second set, you got loose and you were like moving around the stage and you were like, instead of talking in front of them, you were talking to them. Yeah. It was dope. It was really cool. And that was the first time you ever did stand up, right? You took a break though.
I took a long break because I was mentally exhausted. Because I was doing a lot. I was producing a lot of shows. I was working at the haha. I was doing a bunch of like just trying to produce it because there's only two ways to get on stage. You gotta be really good and really talented when you get on, or you gotta produce your own shows. Those are probably the only two ways you're gonna get on.
There's the third.
What's the third way?
Open mic.
Open mic. No, but I'm talking about to actually get to
Right.
regular shows.
Yeah.
Because with the open mic comes the fact that you get really good. So there's only two ways to get on shows.
So you were producing shows to get stage time.
Yes, to get stage time, and I was just burnt out, man. I was like, man, I used to produce a show with my friend Brian McDaniel, and then Brian, we used to produce. It was called the Skinny Flacco Show. We used to produce it in Pasadena. You actually performed on our show one time.
Where was it?
It was in Pasadena. It was at the Ice House in Pasadena.
Thank you.
It was at the Ice House in Pasadena, and you actually performed for us once too.
Did I?
I booked you for once.
How'd I do?
You did horrible and great at the same time. Horrible, great. No, actually,
There's no stage like that stage.
I never seen Jason do bad, and I've seen Jason perform probably
I've done
times.
bad. I've had some bad sets.
Okay, do you remember
I remember my worst set.
your worst set?
I remember
Can you
my
tell us
worst
about
set
that?
like it was yesterday because
Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Here's why.
Hold on. Was Dave there?
My brother wasn't there.
Okay. Cool.
West Side Comedy in Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it was a showcase show. It was to showcase for Adam Devine's house party on Comedy Central.
You actually told me about this, yes.
And it was my first time really bombing and not doing well. First of all, they put me up first, which sucked. So you go up to a cold crowd, and the person that was hosting.
Can you explain what's the job of the first comic to actually?
The host?
No, the first comic to actually break the ice. You know how there's
No, that shouldn't be his job.
No?
In my opinion, no. That's why they should have an MC.
Okay.
They should have an MC, and it's his job to set the room, get him going, do some crowd work, talk to him, explain to him what's going on, be funny, and now the room is settled in.
So when
They're
you have this
ready
thing
to go.
about the tag teaming, do you think that's a bad idea when you
No,
tag team in
tag teaming isn't a bad idea if you have the VO, the VOG, like the sound guy announcing. I mean, I'm telling you, that makes such a big difference, dude.
Okay.
Like I did a show in
wait, let's
real quick.
Okay.
Houston.
Okay.
I did a show in Houston. No, was it Houston? Yeah, it was a Houston Improv. I was on a show at Houston Improv, and they had a new girl running sound.
Okay.
And so she gets on the microphone and she goes like, "Ladies and gentlemen, their job is to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Improv.
Yeah.
How's everybody feeling this evening? You cheer.
Yeah.
Make sure that you did this and that and that. Are you guys ready for a show? I didn't hear you. Are you ready?" And you hype them up.
Yeah.
And then you say, "Your first comic coming to the stage. You may have seen him on blah, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Give it up for Jason." This girl was literally like, "Thanks for coming." No, literally said,
Yeah.
"Thanks for coming. Make sure you keep your table talk to a minimum. Please don't yell out at the comics." Mind you, the chatter within the crowd is louder than her.
Yes.
And people are literally going, "What is she fucking saying?" And then she's like, "Okay, Jason Collings." To the point where I'm in the green room like, do I go on?
Yeah.
And then I go on. Thank God I've been doing this for a long time, so I was able to riff on it. I said, "Sorry, guys, about the sound girl. It was Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. I thought she'd do a better job." And that got a big laugh.
Yes.
And that reset the crowd. Okay. But it wasn't my job to do that.
No.
So, but anyways, yeah. So I did the Adam Devine
Yes.
showcase for the house party show. And they had an MC that was just not good. And they let the crowd dictate how their set's gonna go. And that's a bad idea. Like if you get out on stage and you see that the crowd is immediately like, "Oh," and then you're like, "Oh," with them, no. You gotta be like, "Yo, you guys are at a comedy show. Let's fucking go. This is a ding," you know what I mean? Didn't do any of that stuff. So I had to go out, not only try to set the crowd, and then showcase to get on this damn Comedy Central show.
Yeah.
Didn't work. I mean, I got them at the end, but they're not looking at just your last shit. They want to say, can this guy crush it for 8 minutes?
Yes.
And I didn't. And that was the saddest drive home. I might have cried.
Do you remember in your comedy career advice that a comedian actually gave you that you actually took to heart?
Yeah.
And who was that comedian?
You're being so funny right now, dude. You're like acting the part of a TV host. No, Jason, Do you remember a time in your career when
Who was that comedian?
Joe Coy?
What did he tell you?
Joe Coy told me all kinds of stuff. He watched my set and goes, work on this, man. You're not making eye contact to the audience. Why are you looking to the side? Why are you turning your back on the audience on the punchline? Why are you not making this, that? Why aren't you following through with that and not committing on that joke? And he just coached me, you know? And the reason he coached me, in my opinion, is because he saw something there.
Yeah.
Like, there are plenty of people that come to me, they're like, can you help me? And I'm like, I don't think so. Because I was already funny. But now you got to take that. Like, there are people in offices all over the country that are the funniest dude in their office.
Yes.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work on stage.
You just have to have the technical
You just got to be funny. All I needed to do is learn how to, because that's where I think comedy classes are helpful. I want to say this. I shit on comedy classes a lot, but I do think that they are useful in a lot of ways. You cannot teach someone how to be funny. You can't teach somebody how to be funny. You're either funny or you're not. But what you can teach is, structure of a joke, microphone techniques. How many comics do you see that don't know what the hell they're doing with the microphone? They keep holding the cord. And I mean, I was at an open mic. This guy took the cord and threw it over his shoulder because he was worried he was going to step on it. They teach all that kind of stuff is invaluable. So I shit on that. But I already had the funny thing down. But I didn't know there were comedy classes. And if I knew, I wouldn't have taken them anyways. But you understand, for 2 years, I went to comedy shows every other night watching the masters. I was in the audience watching Joe Coy, Dane Cook, Daniel Tosh, all these guys every night, Russell Peters. So that was my intro to comedy, the greats. I never stepped foot at an open mic. If I went to an open mic before I did stand-up, I would have been like, fuck this, I'm never doing this. This is the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life. Because there are certain open mics that are that open mic that we went to in Bellflower at the Stand-Up Comedy Club, that was a dope open mic. And here's why. The audience was mostly other comedians waiting their turn, but they were supportive.
Yes.
They were supportive of the other comedians. Like, yes. Dude, you know how many, there's an open mic I saw, because they have open mics on early shows when I do my regular shows. So I'll step in, and they're literally just a bunch of comedians looking at their notes, not even paying attention to the guy on stage, just waiting for their turn to go on stage. But I didn't have to deal with that shit. I had some of the best comics. And I mean, the guy who coached me in the beginning just sold out a bunch of shows at the Forum and shot his Netflix special there. So I had that kind of coaching. But I didn't need to be taught how to be funny because, hey, man.
He's funny.
I am hilarious. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Dude, this is a good first episode.
It is good.
This is a good first episode. You guys, please make sure you go to all the platforms. Make sure you rate, review, and on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Stitcher, wherever you listen, we will be there. If you want to look at our gorgeous faces, go to our YouTube channel, Jaybird and the Squatch. Anything you want to add, buddy?
Yes. What do you have coming up?
Oh, you want to talk about dates?
Yeah.
What do I have? So I have, in October, I will be in Batavia. Is it Batavia? Yeah. October 13th, 14th, 15th, I'm going to be in Batavia, Illinois at the Comedy Vault. You and I are doing a show in Merced.
Yes, we're doing a show in Merced November 19th. We'll be in Merced.
Merced is inland from San Jose, right? From Fresno.
No, it's actually inland from it's east of Fresno.
East of Fresno. Okay.
East of Fresno. So we're going to be doing a show in Merced, and we also got the stand-up coming up on
October 1st. We will be in Bellflower for my show. Jason Collings presents at the Stand-Up Comedy Club in Bellflower.
Yes.
We will add ticket links and all that stuff, and hopefully we'll see you guys there. But this is our number one episode. I loved it. I think we got chemistry.
I think we do.
Sometimes I can't understand a thing you say, but that's okay because we'll have subtitles.
I just think you kind of have me as a what's it called?
Punching bag.
No, not even punching bag. You kind of
sidekick.
Yeah, sidekick.
Not a psychic. That's for your people.
A sidekick. No. What I want to say is that I really like this because, like you said, we have the chemistry and we have something that I know can grow because it's organic and I know it can grow. So.
That was very heartfelt.
And also, do you want to say where we have our individual? You want to say your individual tags or anything?
No.
No, you don't.
No. Are you talking about like Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff?
no.
It'll be here.
It'll be
Trust me.
Thank you.
You're so cute. All right, let's go out with a joke. Go.
Man, no, you go first.
No joke.
I don't really.
Quick joke. Go.
I don't have any jokes like that. I can't just tell them like that. I can't say them like that.
Raul, next time you grab that.
No way.
Yeah, I know, man. He's using
No
it way
way.
too much, man.
This is my
He's
toy,
having
my
way
new
too
toy.
much fun with it.
Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you on the next episode. Jaybird and the Squatch. Jaybird and the Squatch. Thanks for joining us, guys. Later.
Later.